In today's video, CodingBat.com, section Logic-1, and today's question is sorta sum, and this will be done in Python. So let's click into sorta sum and let's read the question. So, given two ints, a and b, return their sum. However, sums in the range of 10 to 19 inclusive are forbidden. So in that case, just return 20. So here's our function, the sorta sum function, where we have two arguments, a and b, and they're both numbers, they're both integers. And so we have one situation where we're just going to add them up, and we have another situation where we're going to return 20. So our answer is ultimately going to return an integer. Cool, so let's start by writing our first line of code. And the first thing I want to do is actually create an if statement to address the situation where the sum is between 10 and 19. And so there's a couple ways we can do this, and I'll do one way first. So it'll be if 10 less than or equal to a plus b less than or equal to 19, return 20. So this is our first if statement and return statement as well. So here we're returning 20 if a plus b is between 10 and 19 inclusive. And we could click go and see that in a couple situations this actually works, right? So here 9 plus 4 would add up to 13, which of course is inside that range. And so in that case we're returning 20. So anytime it was expecting to return 20, this if statement is working as expected. So now that this is working as expected, before tweaking it and making it more efficient, let's just come down and return a plus b. Because we know that ultimately, normally in most situations, hopefully, we want to just simply return a plus b. So that's really easy. So we can run this again, and here we go. Just like that, we get our solution, our first iteration of our solution. Everything is green, all is correct, and all situations have passed. So here's our first iteration of the sorta sum solution. Cool, so now that we're happy with our answer, let's find a way to make this more efficient, this line of code. Or at least just to write it differently, clean it up. So I was thinking if a plus b in range 10 to 20. And if we click go here, sweet, so this is still all correct. This works exactly the same as before. If a plus b is within this range, then we're going to return 20. And if you're unfamiliar with the range built-in function, I have a full tutorial dedicated specifically to this built-in function, but just to go over it real quick, so if we did range 10 to 20, and we wrapped a list around that, we can see that our output here is from 10 to 19. So it doesn't actually include the 20. If you wanted to include the 20, you'd have to go up to 21 as an argument. And so that will return 20. But for our situation, we're doing 10 to 19. And so that's why we have 20 here. This is different than before. In my first solution, we had 19. And so now we've switched that to be 20. Anyway, so range built-in function, we click go, and that works. So I think that this is an improvement to our solution, but there's actually more we can do. How can we improve this even more? Do you think it would be possible to create a one-liner out of this solution? Well, the answer, of course, is yes. And it's yes because we're either going to return 20 or we're going to return this total. So we're doing one thing or we're doing the other thing. And because it's binary, we can actually reduce this down to one line. So we could do, I think what we want to do is return 20 if, with our if statement, else just return a plus b. So if a plus b is in the range, we return 20. Otherwise, else a plus b. And we can click go. And once again, this is all correct, all green. Awesome. So this is working, even though I forgot to remove this if statement. And we can bring this down. Officially, one line as the answer. We can click go as many times as we want. This is going to work, and we have done this all on one line of code with a simple if-else statement returning either 20 or a plus b, and we have met all of the test cases. So this has been the sort a sum function, the sort a sum challenge in section Logic-1 of Python, CodingBat.com. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.